EA Sports. It's in the game.
With the first pick in the 2019 NFL Draft.
Select the team you want to join. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left. Start your week by installing your game plan. Start the regular season by selecting your season goal.
Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's the coach. This is week one.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his second season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason.
I'm here all day. Double tight.
A first down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helped for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stand.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. It's a punt return score of 70 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Adrian Claiborne drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. To throw is Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
When the Vikings defense takes the field, my eyes automatically go to number 22, Harrison Smith, because he's going to show up wherever the football is, and the Vikings use him all over the place. Close to the line of scrimmage, back deep in coverage, you name it, he does it. I think what gives him the most joy, putting a big shot on a running back. They don't call him the hitman for nothing.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Tavecchio puts this one through, and that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On second down, it's Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Well, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. The Vikings winning 19 of those games, but now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Falcons grab it, and this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD.
Let's go.
So this defense clicking early in the year, week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd and short. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 17-0 our score after 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second down now. It's Cook, able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Desmond Trufant with a sack. The corner blitz hits home.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 4th-round guy, and many thought that's about where he would go, but I think he's got some upside, right?
He can come right in and be what they call a core special teams player, play on all 4 phases of it, and have a chance to work his way into the lineup. I think a year or 2 down the road, they could have a solid starter.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Taken from just outside the 30. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Complete to Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either. We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Tavecchio is good. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A gain of 6 there on first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. First down. Here's Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll throw again. Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. The 40. He's at the 30. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. And how about the big boys showing off the wheels?
Let's face it, anybody who watches a game, even if it goes against your team, when there's a big man with the football, everyone locks in.
All eyes.
Everyone locks in, and they're rumbling. You can feel it all the way to the upper reaches of the stands.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking...
And it's a fumble. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again, Ryan. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the two. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And an alley to run. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Falcons. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys continue to pour it on. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Falcons set to get things rolling on defense again here. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. Offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know they're takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. We just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
This will be taken at the 10. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
Cook stripped. The ball's out. And the Falcons grab it. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. On 2nd down, Cook stripped, the ball's out, and the Falcons grab it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Tyler Davison able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Cousins. And it's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A give to Cook out of the gun. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a 1st.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for...
And there he goes again! Touchdown, Falcons! The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. Caught by Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On third down, Cousins, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before.
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He completes it to Jones. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Cousins now. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To the air again, it's Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing is Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Again, it's Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds, incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out.
And he's loose again. The 30. 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over.
Now he's into the clear. 30, 10, and he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 71 yards. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first.
The players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.